Okay, so this is the first video on my channel. Obviously, if you're finding this video, it is the first video on my channel. But also, this is going to be the start of a series as well. So I'm relatively new to gym. I wouldn't say that I've been doing it for very long, but I've finally gained the courage to start posting videos and content about my gym journey, and that's going to be what this is. I struggled quite a bit to start off with. I didn't know where to start. I asked people for advice, and I found myself looking through YouTube videos, and I won't lie, some of them were helpful, but to start off with, they weren't very helpful. So as I'm learning, it'll be progress for myself, and also anyone who wants to begin their gym journey can always flick back at this and take stuff away from what I do to put into their own fitness journey. One thing I will say is gym is different for everyone. Not every person is the same. Everyone is different. How they want to do things is different. Everyone is different. So what I do in the gym might not necessarily work for you. I've taken things from YouTubers that I've watched, and they sometimes work for me, sometimes they don't. At the end of the day, it's your journey, so you can do whatever works best for you, realistically. But hopefully you can use this as a guide to get started. I'm not saying that this is going to be for you. Awesome if it is, but it might not be. It definitely might not be. But anyway, this is going to be the start to the beginner's guide. Let's call it a beginner's guide. And we'll see how we go. Leg day. Oh, so while we're at it, who the fuck does that? So on both sides. What the fuck is that? Anyway, we just exhausted ourselves warming up on the bags. Pause. Probably gonna start the session off with 5 sets of squats. See how we go. But why won't this fucking thing come off? Yeah, we'll start it off with 5 sets of squats. I think that's usually what we do, so we'll just keep it that. Then we'll probably move on to leg press next, maybe leg extension. I don't know. We'll sort it out.
Doom shot, motherfucker.
I don't know if you could see there, but a couple days ago from making this post, I posted me squatting, I think it was like 100 kilos, but really bad form. I'll put it up somewhere. But I'm cutting back, so this is only 40 kilos, and proper form, ass to the floor, like not all the way, just a little bit. You would have heard everyone say, keep your back straight. And yes, you should. Problem that I have is sometimes I tense my back with the heavier weights. If you're feeling it in your back off the weight. I sometimes feel that the belt helps as well, but at the end of the day, that's not gonna improve your form like 100%. It's gonna support your back, but it's not gonna improve your form. So, from one beginner to another, assuming you're watching this video for beginner reasons, start light. There is absolutely no reason to push yourself further than what you need to. You're just gonna hurt yourself, and then you're not gonna be able to come back in the gym for a long time. So, seriously, Rome wasn't built in a day, my friends. Start off, especially since this is my first set, this is a warm-up. You do not need to go heavy at all. Don't go heavy at all. You're gonna hurt yourself. Always take at least one warm-up set. If it's your first set of the workout, 2 warm-up sets, just be cautious. But you do not need to go heavy at all. Now I felt a little bit shit. Felt tense in my lower back. That's the cause of my lower back pain. I'm tensing my back. It's just a natural instinct. The best way to stop that, like if you're doing the same thing, just mainly focus on sticking your ass out. Like obviously still keep your straight back and your posture, but as you're going down, stick your ass out as much as you can. Usually that's what helps me. But that was 60 kilos. Probably gonna go to 70 kilos. I'm gonna use, no, we'll probably go 80 kilos. We'll use a belt. I don't know if I'll make my way up to 100 kilos. I just don't see the point in it. But we'll see how we feel. If 80 is feeling good with the belt, then maybe. See how we go. But if I'm not doing proper form on 80, then there's no point of even doing 80. Thing I should mention as well, how you place the bar. I like to place it so it's roughly in line with the tops of my shoulders, because when you come under, you're going to be bent over a little bit, right? So you want it to sit roughly there. And obviously when you're lifting up, you're not lifting with your shoulders, you're lifting with your legs. You're just like your knees are already bent, so you're just extending up. That's all it is. If you watch any other influencer, they'll do the same. They'll probably tell you the same. That's the whole point of squats. It's your legs. So do not lift with your shoulders or anything. Just extend your knees or extend your legs, like stand up straight. We're gonna put 80 kilos on. We'll see how we feel. See how we feel with 80 kilos. But that one was kind of shit. That set didn't feel too bad. Felt a little bit better than the 60s. It cut off short there. I didn't realize. But anyway, we're moving on to, it's like an Omni leg press, but it's just a leg press, like an upright leg press. This one, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a leg press. You put all the force into your feet and you push, like extending your legs. Don't fully lock them out. What we like to do is we add a pause. So we go up 50, 100% 50, so all the way up 50, down to like 50%, pause again, and then pause at the bottom. Do not let the weights rest, because that is resting. And then we do little reps. So I'll show you in a sec what Tex is doing. And yeah, it's a real muscle burner. Do as many as you can do if you're gonna do this. Do not push yourself if you can't. Like, get the feel for it first. Obviously, first set's a warm-up set, And then after there, go to failure, go to whenever you want. Failure is probably best. So I'm sure you've seen from Tex and I just there that we're doing that pause. Again, putting your muscle under load for like you can't pause too long because then you lose leverage. But putting your muscle under load for like a second, just a second or a half a second, that's long enough. So we're doing the 50, 100 and then 50 all the way down. And then we also add those baby reps, like the partial reps. Partials are good. Usually you do them at the end of a set where you can't do much more. So you bust out the partials to exhaust any other muscle or any other part of your muscle that hasn't been worked yet and still got a little bit of strength in it. Putting the partials in here when you've still got some left in the tank makes your muscles way more fatigued, and you just keep pushing past the tiredness. You have to. If you want to make like substantial growth, if you want to make substantial growth, you have to fatigue the muscle. Like that's just common sense. You can't just always rely on like 6 to 8 reps or 10 to 12 reps. If you're making 10 to 12 reps or 6 to 8 reps, that's good. But sometimes you need to push it a little bit further. If you're just making 10 to 12 reps on failure, then if you get to failure, that's when your muscles are most fatigued. That's where you're going to see the most growth. Anyway, we've got a couple more sets of this, and then we're going to move on to extensions.
Hammer curls, curls, and then
curls.
leg extensions.
Okay. So we're going to wrap up these sets, and you'll see us on the leg curls for the hamstrings, and then leg extension after that. All right. So moving on to the leg curls. That's literally all it is. You're just moving your legs like that and stretches your hammies, works your hammies. They're not a big muscle, so you don't need to work them like massively, but it's still a muscle that needs to be worked. You'll look like an idiot if you don't work it at least a little bit. So we finished up on the leg press, tired the fuck out of our legs, went past failure, so had a little bit of a rest, which is technically cheating, but so that's technically, like that rest is technically another set. Yeah, did a couple more sets of that, went until we couldn't go anymore. Now we're on to the seated leg curls, and then leg extension. Personally, with the seated leg curls, we both find, Tex and I both find that if you lock your legs, like your feet out, keep them in the same position, you're not like using your feet to help pull down, and you're just focusing on isolating the hamstring, that's the best way to do it. Whatever works for you, as long as you're feeling it in the back of your leg, as long as you're feeling it there, I guess that's all that matters. But for us, or for me, personally, keeping your feet still, not moving them, that's the best way for us, personally. If you move your feet too much, sometimes your feet can be assisting, and then it can also be working your calves as well. Not always great, but try and keep your legs stiff as a board, and then see how that feels. If it's not working, try it up, mix it up, see what other influencers think, but this is just what works better for us. Now we're on to leg extensions. My hammies are actually feeling it today. A good tip as well, when you're down, like when you brought your legs all the way down, hold a pause. Again, pausing is a good way to fatigue the muscle. Pause for like a second and then let it back up. Best way to fatigue the muscle, best way for muscle growth. We're gonna hit leg extensions. I think that's gonna be a wrap. For this sesh. But let's just get straight into it. That was actually my second set, and that's to failure. I do one warm-up set usually, and I go to failure. A tip that I can give for newbies: don't do this half-ass shit where you're just flicking your leg out like 50%. Don't do that shit. You want to flick it, like you want to get your legs straight out. Unless it's towards the end of your set and you're doing like partials, you need to try and get that full extension. It's the best way to grow your legs. None of that half rep at the start. It's bullshit. That's cheating, bro. Don't do that. If you can, hold a pause when you're fully extended. Obviously, if you can't, that's okay. Anyway, enough fucking talking. Let's get back into it. The legs are toasty now, bro. Fuck. Something that might also help is sort of whatever's more comfortable for you, but usually the bottom of your shin towards the top of your foot is the best way to sit, like how Tex is. It's the best spot to, I don't know what you call it, the pad. The best way to sit the pad. And you're basically just kicking. It's not so much like an extension, it's like you're lifting your whole leg, like you're taking a step. That's the best way that I can explain it to sort of push through. Another thing that we do is we turn our feet outwards. It has no significant advantage, except for the fact that it works. I don't know the name of the muscle. It works the inner muscle of your leg. I can't remember what it's called, but it works that one a little more. Most leg workouts work your quads. Not many muscles actually work the inner muscle of the thigh. So you can do that if you want. Completely up to you. But that's just what we do. That's what works for us. Like I keep saying, it's whatever works for you guys. Us YouTubers, we can advise, we can help. But at the end of the day, your fitness journey is your fitness journey. You will do whatever the fuck works for you. All we can do is advise, and you can take away bits and pieces from what we say. But as a beginner to possibly another beginner, this is what helps us. So consider taking some stuff away from it. Bro already beat me in here. Know what time it is, baby. flexing time.
Doom shot, motherfucker.
That was a good session. Basically, right after a session, you should feel it every time you take a step. You don't have to be incredibly sore, but you should definitely feel like that muscle has been worked. As you can see from just then, like I said, I'm only a beginner. Leg progress isn't huge for me. I don't think that's where my genetics lie. But then again, I'm not blaming my genetics. Don't blame your genetics. That's a cop out. But like I said earlier, Ryan wasn't built in a day. You just got to take that shit. Whether you think you look big or small, you're gonna get bigger. There's no doubt about that. But I think that was a good session. 100%. Can't be disappointed with that. Okay, so we just dropped Tex off. Like I said, that was a good sesh. I'm actually really happy with that. But yeah, that's a leg day. There was probably a few things that I missed on tips. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll try and respond to them. I'm obviously not getting bombarded with comments, so I'll definitely get back to you. But yeah, any questions, don't be shy, ask them. But that's gonna be a wrap for the vid. Obviously, I'll give more tips as the series goes along. I won't be going anywhere just yet. Anyways, if it helped you or you liked the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing. I'll always be posting these sort of videos. So yeah, from one beginner to another. Hope this helped. If it did, leave a like, subscribe, and until the next one, peace out, lads.